Brought to you by Mary Ellen's Food for the Soul. This is On the Block with Strick and Nate.
Hey, very happy Thursday afternoon to all of you. My name is Nate Brennan. He is the Husker Hall of Famer, 9-year NBA veteran Eric Strickland. You are listening to On the Block on 93.7 The Ticket, 402-464-5685. That is the Starter Heyman text line, Honda of Lincoln hotline. As always, guys, we want to hear from you throughout the entire show. We have a very packed show. Lots coming down in the Big Ten with their new media contract. We'll get into all the details. Mark Whipple, he took to the podium. We are now in the single digits. 9 days until the Huskers will face off against Northwestern. Ireland shootout was strict. Deshaun Watson suspended. I'm in a predicament in fantasy football. I need your guys' help. And as always, we'll go through the storylines around the sports landscape. 402-464-5685. Starter Heyman text line, Honda of Lincoln hotline. We want to hear from you. And we want to hear from the Husker Hall of Famer, Eric Strickland. What's going on, my man?
Yeah, man, listen, the crossover was crazy. You know, dealing with
I
those
missed
two.
it.
You know, definitely with what's up with that. The Rico's finest.
What was good? What all
Boy,
I missed?
What's up with
It
that?
was a long
you missed
crossover,
it. It was a major cross. It was a major Allen Iverson crossover. It was like, yeah.
Oh no, that's
it was the one where you palm the ball and you pause like on and one mixtape and you pause on them. It was one of them type of crossovers. Yeah.
I don't know what was going on in here, but I was letting you guys do your thing.
I had to push back on him though. I had to push back on him.
That's good. That's what we want. That's what we want.
You know, we was in
That's
here
what we
boxing a little bit. You know.
Give him the Mike Tyson little 1-2, right?
For sure.
But I have, so we're gonna make this a shorter segment because of the crossover, and I've been all over the place today. It's been a frantic day, so I'm just gonna rant to you guys for a little bit because that's what I do best. So it starts. A lot of you have followed the Ticket water cooler, and I've been over my DMV situation, the absolute train wreck that has happened with it. And if you've been following this story and you've been following it on Twitter, if you've been following it on the radio, it had completely come to an end. I had finally won. I had defeated the DMV. The Department of Motor Vehicles was not going to win this round. I had my license. I went on an airplane. I went to TSA. Everything checked out. And then it all came crashing down. So I get back and there's a letter in the mail and it goes, you need to go to the DMV. Something happened with your license, and that was it. And I was like, okay. So it was suspicious too. And I was like, okay, I don't really understand what's going on right here, but that'll work. So I schedule an appointment.
Yeah.
I head into the DMV today, and I say, guys, I don't know what's going on. I have my license. I surrendered my out-of-state ID. I am no longer a Virginia resident, so I'm good to go. And then I have him pull up my profile and all this. I show him the piece of paper that they sent me. And this guy goes, I've never seen this before. I'm like, oh, great. Okay. So that's not a good start to anything.
Mm-hmm.
He goes, I've never seen this before. He calls over his supervisor. He goes, sir, you're going to have to go sit in the other room. You're going to have to wait this one out while we figure this out. I come back. So about 10, 15 minutes go by. My patience is already running thin, but trust me, it'll get even worse. I go in and they go, sir, your license is no longer valid. So my license had been canceled. My license was not valid. So if I would have gotten pulled over,
you had points.
I don't know. I don't know how it works. But so basically, if I would have gotten pulled over, it would have been bad news for me because I don't have a license to drive.
Right.
So they go, so what we need you to do now is take a written test.
Oh God, you gotta go
written test. I had to go back
all over again. Oh my gosh.
So and then okay, so get this. I said, you know what? I'm gonna get this over with once and for all. I had finessed the system before. I never took the written test, but I passed the written test. Okay, it's all great. Finally, this nonsense is over. Then they tell me, "Is your car here?" Said, yeah, my car's here. Are they going to let me register my car? Because because I assumed they were going to let me register my car because my car is not registered. They don't do it at this DMV, so it's not even accessible. They go, great, we're going to have you take a driving test.
Oh, you had to go back kitty style. All the way back to the kitty style.
So I say,
you're 16 again.
Guys, and that's what I'm saying is I told him, I said, guys, I'm 24 years old. I've been driving for almost 10 years now, because in Virginia at 15 and a half is when you get your learner's permit. I'm almost 24 and a half. So I'm like, guys, I've almost been driving for a decade now. Are you serious? Because I thought they were joking. No, we're going to need you to take a driving test. Fine. You know what? Whatever. Let me take the driving test. Go sit in the waiting room again. Okay, that's fine.
How many hours is it this far?
So it's not that. We're probably about 45 minutes in.
Okay.
The guy comes in, great guy. The guy, I want to give a shout out. The thing about the DMV is a lot of times I don't think it's the workers there that are involved in these situations, because I did feel bad because my patience is running thin. I'm getting frustrated. And this guy comes out. He's incredibly helpful, great guy. So I can't remember his name for the life of me, but shout out to everyone that works at the Department of Motor Vehicles that has nothing to do with these situations. He was a great guy. He could tell that I was frustrated. He could tell I was flustered. He was very helpful. So we go about 15, 20 minutes in some neighborhoods, basically just make sure that I know what I'm doing.
Yeah, did you have to parallel too?
No, I didn't have to parallel.
Oh.
So it wasn't like your
So it wasn't
initial,
too bad.
like, no.
Right,
It was the very basic stuff. So I passed the driving exam. And then I go back in. They get
You turn lanes without using your signal.
I usually do. I usually do. But
you had to think about it then.
Yeah, see, this sounds like, all right, I got to make sure to focus. And speed limit too. All
Oh,
right,
yeah.
I'm focusing in. I'm focusing. Don't go to speed limit. So I get all of this done. So I'm about an hour in now. And then I go back, and then they fill out all the paperwork. I'm like, okay, I'm ready to go. And they say, okay, you can go over to the registry, the register, treasurer, whatever they call them, and go get your new license. I'm like, okay, that's fine. I'm not paying for another license. They said, sir, you have to pay for another license. Your license isn't valid. And then this is where, so I'm boiling. Like my patience has run thin.
It's a racket.
Let me talk to a manager. I walk into that manager's room and I feel bad. I hope that he's not listening right now, because I was not a happy camper, and he probably didn't want to deal with it. But I said, this is absurd. I never should have had to take this exam in the first place. This is an error on your guys' part. I've already surrendered my ID. I've lost my Nebraska ID that I've had for a week and a half.
It's a hokey thing.
It must be. I don't know.
They knew you were from Virginia.
They did. They had to have known. So then I'm so frustrated. And I tell them, I am not walking out of here paying for this driver's license. I have a driver's license. You guys decided to cancel it. This is egregious.
Yeah.
Sir, let me talk to my higher ups. You're going to have to go sit down. I sit back in the waiting room. A good 45 minutes goes by.
Gosh,
so I'm going on close to hour 2 at this point.
Yeah.
He comes out. He says, listen, I know you're frustrated. I understand this is an error on our part. I get it. This is the best I can do. Go pay now. I'm going to give you a waiver claim. I've stamped on the waiver claim to give you your money back. It's the best I can do. I'm sorry. And at this point, I'm like, you know what? Screw it. It's $30. But this is the thing is I'm a very spiteful person. So at this point, I'm like, I'm not giving these people my money. I've already given them enough of my time. I refuse. I walked out of it. I paid the $30 to get a new license. So now I guess my license doesn't work. I'm getting another one. I had to take a new picture and everything. Like literally all of my records. I had to show my birth
Hair's like
certificate.
this.
I know. But it probably was because I was
mean mugging.
I was
right.
mean mugging it. And it's just it. So I paid for it. Another license is now in the mail. I don't think my current license works.
So
I have
you
a
get pulled over
license,
still. You still busted.
But no, I have a temporary
Oh, they
license
gave
now,
you a
which
temporary.
is a piece of
Okay.
paper.
Okay.
And this is the question that I now have for the text line, 402-464-5685. I started stressing immediately. They said my license doesn't work anymore because I'm going to the boats on Saturday to put money on Nebraska over Northwestern. Will my temporary license work at the boats? Help me. Well, actually,
because you look like you're a freaking 10.
no,
So no.
As long as they know that I am.
They do not know you're 21. You look like you're 15. You're gonna have to go through the Nicka clause or Nick Saint Nick or Nick Saint Claus. Which
Saint
one
Claus.
is it? What do you call him?
I
Nick
don't
Saint
know.
Claus?
Well, this is the thing.
Saint Claus Nick
is Thickless.
Oh, Nicholas.
Thickless.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know what to do. I think I can get in. The thing is, too, if I tell them this entire story at the casino, I think they might just let me through.
Oh wow!
Because
they might not even let you in.
Like, this guy's off his rocker.
You might
But
not
that's
even
probably
get
what
in.
they want, because then I'll be giving more money to the casino.
See.
But I will say one thing though: if you're going to the casino, you're playing some roulette. Number 8 is what we're rolling with, because that was the number that I passed my written exam. They have the testing.
You putting it all on 8?
I'm putting it all on 8.
Mm.
We're either going to come out rich, Strick, and we're going to go retire, and we're going to go off to Branch Oak Lake, buy some jet skis, or we're going to be out a lot.
I normally bet on black. Because,
interesting.
But being that a week is approaching, I might put it all on red.
Oh,
I think I'm drinking a little Kool-Aid.
Are you drinking the Kool-Aid now?
I think
Sutter Heyman video stream. If Strick actually is drinking the Kool-Aid,
literally.
Credit for that. So yeah, that's my rant. I appreciate everyone that sat around and listened to this. It looks like the text line has differing viewpoints on how this situation went down. Again, I want to make myself very clear. Saint Thick. Yes, I like that. Thank you. Thank you, Thomas and Lincoln.
Thank you, Thomas and Lincoln. I know we got to take a break, but I had a crazy casino story.
Did you win a lot of money?
No.
Oh, okay.
But I had the older honey.
Okay.
So I met this young woman. This is when I'm playing baseball. I'm 19.
So this is a young Strick.
I have money.
Okay.
So I'm dressed really nice, a pair of sandals, a pair of specs, and a nice kind of back then, them Hawaiian type shirts
was it oversized?
Nice
was it oversized?
Nah, it was still kind of, kind of cutting the 215, looking right. So I meet this honey, and she happens to know some relatives of mine, but she's a little bit older. She's older. And I was like, oh, let's go to the casino. I happen to have an overnight, so I said, let's go to the casino. She's like, boy, you ain't 21. You can't go to the casino. I said, for real, let's go. Watch. So I have a pocket full of money because, mind you, I'm just playing baseball. So I've got we go in there. I sit down at the bar because, at the bar, they got those little, games that you can play.
Yep. While you're waiting for a drink.
While you're waiting for
it's
the
actually
drinks.
Pretty cool, yeah.
So I sit down. I was playing one of the games. The guy comes up. He's like, hey, what do you like to drink? Now, mind you, I look like I do now. Goatee, shortcut, but look dapper.
So you look like you're 21.
I'm too old. I'm like 210. So I look like I'm somebody. So I sit down. He brings me a screwdriver. I sip. Still playing the game. Bet my little money. Bring me a screwdriver.
Get you feeling weird
like that.
too.
Get to going. Then she's standing. She's way at the other end watching. So then I have another one. Yeah, let me give me another one. Boom, tipped him real nice. Next thing you know, she starts creeping down. By the end of the night, we're next to each other having drinks, and the rest is history.
So you got in scotch-free.
Hey.
Scott Frost-free.
So I'm saying to you, if you look like Stricky, mature, and just real, Dapper Dan, you might get in.
Right.
But you don't look like that. You're going in there with Birkenstocks.
I know.
And
I'm going to go
15.
with the Crocs, probably like an oversized, I don't know, dad shirt. Because that's the thing, too, now is the dad shirts.
Yeah.
Like the weird patterns, like kind of got a collar at the top. I don't know what to do. Today has been chaos. I didn't even have time to change in between going from the television station to here. So sorry, I probably am off my rocker a little bit, guys. I've lost myself a little bit, but regardless, that's my story. I'm sticking to it.
I can't help it. Gus 8-4. Pope Thick the First. That is the new nickname. Pope Thick the First. I love it. Yes, that's what we're going with right here on 93.7 The Ticket at ticketfm.com. From now on, his name is no longer Nick Sainert. It is Pope Thick the First.
Pope Thick the First. He's cutting a commercial right now, so yeah, I don't think he can hear us.
It's too late. It's too late, Pope Thick.
Can I help you?
You have a new nickname.
Nothing's
We're
happening.
just gonna say you have a new nickname.
We'll catch you on the other side of this commercial.
Can I help you guys? What's
No.
going on? You guys seeing my
No.
frustration over here? I'm
We'll
wearing it on my
catch you.
sleeve over here. I can't get this
All right,
promo
we gotta-
made because I keep messing up.
All right, Nick, we gotta cut your mic. We gotta go.
Bye, Nick. Pope Thick the first.
Dick the first. You're
New
right
nickname.
here on the block. We gotta take the break.
Courtesy of.
We got a lot to talk about.
Gus
sports-wise. We got a lot.
I will be
Stick
back.
with us. Stick with us on the block. 93.7 Ticket.
We're still as busy as we've ever been. Across the country, you may see a small slowdown, but in Lincoln, Nebraska, we're not slowing down.
Bob Benish is the founder and president of Aspen Builders, online at aspenbuildersinc.com.
Our Southwest Lincoln development is just going great as we keep growing in Southwest Lincoln. Down the road, we'll have a new school, so that's exciting. We also have a new development out in East Lincoln over by Hillcrest Country Club. Just a real neat subdivision because it features trees, great views. If you're concerned about interest rates, many lenders in town offer extended lock periods. So it's worth contacting a lender and asking them about an extended lock. That's a big deal.
Make your dream home a reality and call Aspen Builders at 423-6811. Online at aspenbuildersinc.com. Your home is waiting at Aspen Builders.
Eustace Body Shop, where our customers send their friends. That's the greatest compliment we can receive. If you've been in an accident, we'll get you back in your vehicle as quickly as possible. Our technicians care about you and your family and repair your vehicle to factory standards. We handle your claim from start to finish and provide a free loaner car. Stop by for a free estimate. Eustace Body Shop, just south of 88th and Highway 2.
The most recommended Eustace Body Shop. That's who we are.
People first is more than a nice sentiment. At American Senior Benefits, it's the mission. If you're ready for a career where you can truly put your customers' needs ahead of everything else, this is for you. American Senior Benefits is one of the leading senior market insurance product distributors in the country, and they're looking for high-energy applicants with strong communication skills. Enjoy on-the-job training, a fun work environment, and unlimited income potential. Visit asbmidwest.com to learn more. American Senior Benefits.
Beatrice Bakery. They ship cakes all over the country. True story. But take a look inside their shop and you'd have no idea. This is a Nebraska product through and through. Not some massive production plant. Local people making delicious cake just for you. So go see them in their new storefront location in downtown Beatrice. Grab some grandma's fruit cake, some chocolate rum cake, or my favorite, the turtle nut cake. And say hi to Rick and the crew. Beatrice Bakery. Online at beatricebakery.com. Welcome to our world of yum.
Sandhills Global is hiring. Check out sandhills.jobs for more information. Sandhills is looking to fill hundreds of new openings in sales, traveling support, software development, web design, and more. Sandhills has a professional culture and is fast-paced with a focus on growth, innovation, and leading-edge technologies. Career and internship opportunities are available at our global headquarters in Lincoln, Nebraska. Apply today at sandhills.jobs.
Bagels & Joe is in full summer mode. They'll add cold foam to the top of any iced coffee. Plus, they now have a Joe Coffee Club. Get unlimited drip coffee for just $8.95 per month. And don't forget their delicious breakfast burritos and sandwiches. Bagels & Joe, 4 Lincoln locations.
Wow. Did you ever save me money on my car?
Yes, that's why our customers keep coming back.
How do you do it, friendly car dealer ?
We simply have low overhead and high trade-in values. The next line's yours.
Oh.
Ready for something better? Mullen Motors is a no-hassle, no-pressure dealership with financing available. Check out the inventory at MikeMullenMotors.com.
No taglines, just quality vehicles. Mullen Motors.
At Venue Catering and Events, we offer 2 of the most historic ballrooms in Lincoln. The Jasmine Room, located in the historic Grand Manse in the heart of downtown, featuring a beautiful built-in antique bar, spacious patio, and soaring skylit ceilings. The Scottish Rite Ballroom, located just 2 blocks from the state's capital, boasts intricate hand-carved columns, rich dark wood floors, and lavish chandeliers. The perfect venues to host your wedding, corporate event, or much more. For availability and more information, call us at 402-603-6483.
93.7 The Ticket, Fox, KFXL weather. Brought to you by Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing.
Expect mostly sunny skies. Slightly warmer conditions will top out at around 88 with southwest winds at 10 to 15. We will see a chance of widely scattered thunderstorms this evening into tonight, a low of around 63. A continued chance of showers tomorrow, slightly cooler with a high of 83. I'm meteorologist Tim Wright for 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Victor deployed for the first time to Afghanistan in 2003. At 4 a.m, my phone rang. They said, "I regret to inform you that your husband was wounded in action." Victor sustained a moderate traumatic brain injury. I was doing school full-time, and I was also then caring for Victor. One of the most important elements of caregiving is taking care of yourself. I just didn't want to forget that I also had goals and that I also had a life. What I did is I challenged Victor to meet me halfway. There are almost 6 million military and veteran caregivers across the nation. We have our own journey, and we can fulfill that journey at the same time that we are helping our loved one.
Visit aarp.org/caregiving for a free military veterans guide to navigate your caregiving journey and better care for your loved one and yourself. Brought to you by AARP and the Ad Council.
Back to On the Block with Strick and Nate on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Almost Friday. We've almost done it. You know what they say? Friday in radio is chaos. Anything goes. There are no rules. Well, me and Strick, we're getting started early today. Nate Brennan, Eric Strickland, 402-464-5685. We also want all of you. That's the Starter Heyman text line, Honda of Lincoln hotline. Also, you can check us out on many streaming services, YouTube, Facebook, Twitch. We are now live on Twitter as well. Go ahead, give us some shout outs. Let us know that you're listening. And as always, we would love to hear from you. Also, if you're going to YouTube, hit that subscribe button. Our goal is now 1,500. We have officially gotten to 1,000, but we are not done yet. The Ticket is taking over Nebraska. So head over to YouTube. Go ahead and get us to that 1,500 subscriber mark. Again, 402-464-5685, Starter Heyman text line, Honda of Lincoln hotline. We want to hear from you. So we'll get into some actual sports talk. We'll probably get on this more and talk about this more as well, too, because me and Strick will be sticking around for old school from 4 to 6. You'll be getting a lot of myself and Eric Strickland today. So we'll make sure to hit on this a little bit more. I know we're running a little bit behind because of the crossover, my DMV debacle, but I want to go ahead and play you guys a soundbite from today. Coach Applewhite, running backs coach for Nebraska, he took to the podium today as we get ready for this game against Northwestern in just 9 days, guys. That is crazy. So I'm going to go ahead and play this. We're going to let you guys ponder on it, think about it a little bit. Strick's going to have his initial reactions, and we're just going to go from there because, again, 9 days until we head over to Ireland. So, Strick, I'll go ahead and play this for you, and let me know what you think.
The vibe and the feel, not being here in the past. Obviously, this is my first fall camp here with Coach Frost at the University of Nebraska. I love the vibe. I think, from what I've seen from spring ball, the summer workouts, and these 18 practices or whatever practices that we've had in camp, that this is a very hungry team. This is an eager team. This is a team that wants to please. This is a team that wants to play hard for each other. This is a team that wants to play hard for the state of Nebraska. This is a team that has a little bit of a chip on the shoulder. It's a team that is ready to go play and see, the culmination of the hard work that we've been doing since January, show up on the field.
Chip on his shoulder, hard work, all things that we've heard. And Strick, the reason that I brought up Coach Applewhite in this situation is because he's a guy that hasn't been here. This is his first year at Nebraska. Some of his coaching staff, obviously there's a lot of changing and a lot of moving pieces. There's also some coaches that are still in the building, including Scott Frost. So we've heard a lot from him this offseason. He said it's a different feel. It looks a little bit different. But to me, it sounds like this new coaching staff is already coming into the culture, which I think is kind of what Nebraska's shooting for here, that we're going to kind of shift the culture and these new guys are going to be ingrained from day one.
That's what it sounds like for me. It sounds like they came in not trying to fit in, but to reshape the mindset and the thinking and the way that things were going in the negative. I mean, that's what it seems to me. It seems that they're not only focused on the congruency and the tightening of all units to become one, but they're also individually holding up accountability within their own spheres of influence. And as was stated earlier, I think there's just a wonderful communication that seems to be going on amongst the groups to bring those units to congruency. So, I mean, I'm hoping that it's applied to the field. I'm hoping that what we see in another week, that everybody says that practice makes perfect, and perfect preparations provides the opportunity to perform, right? So it's getting those things locked and stocked in practice, and that's why accountability is so important, and what they call stacking games. The importance of that is to make sure that there's no fall off, there's no tape, there's no being just comfortable, that there's always uncomfortable. You're always uncomfortable, and that means you're striving for more excellence in the craft. It's basically shaping and molding your craft, becoming the best at it, and learning new things and being willing to learn new things in the midst of growing.
And he said, too, that this team wants to play hard for the state of Nebraska, which makes me think that these players feel it, right? We can talk all we want about Nebraska, and fans have been frustrated. They've been angry, but at the same time, they've always shown up. Like, and you know that, Strick, as someone that played for the university, this is, if not the best, one of the best fan bases in the country. And you have these young men, 19, 20, 21-year-old kids that are taking kind of the burden of an entire state on their backs. Like, genuinely, like, they are putting the entire weight of the state on their backs. And this is a team that hasn't performed and hasn't lived up to expectations. And it does make me happy that it's recognized, at least within the locker room, that this does mean more. Like, it is more than just you on the field. Like, you are representing something bigger than yourself. And that's something that I've always loved about the state of Nebraska and about this football program, is they understand that. And it sounds like that's still the case.
I love what the women did on last year, on basically putting the challenge out there, on basically performing and operating with excellence. Like, they showed up. The women showed up. Volleyball showed up. They just missed out on a ship. You know, they were that close. You know, a couple breaks here and there. They pull out a ship.
They won the first set.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think, softball on what they were able to do. I think track and
won
field.
The Big Ten.
You see what I'm saying? Basketball, gave some great runs. I mean, obviously Iowa was phenomenal, and even then they still gave them some great runs, but they were young. So obviously lost some key pieces in that, but ultimately they were able to recover and hopefully get back and emerge. There's a void on the other side. We were hoping baseball would be able to kind of start that around, but there's like a void. And the last time I remember there was that void, we filled it in basketball. And then all of a sudden, football, Tommy Frazier shows up, and then football turns. So then the campus was on fire. Volleyball was always pretty consistent. Track is good. That's what I'm hoping this winter does, is that football emerges in
anchor.
That void space and lays down the anchor and fills that voided space on the men's side to begin the turnaround that hopefully Fred can then capture and be able to point to as well on his team about where they've come from. Look what happened with them. 3-9. You can have those type of conversations, because there was many times Danny Nee sat down with us and was like, "Hey, football, hey, if they don't want it, let's step in. Let's step in the void. That's how he talked. I don't give I ain't fucking nice. He would curse at you, but you guys come on, step in, fill the void. That's what I'm hoping football is able to do this year.
And I think they will too, because it just seems like everything is going right for Nebraska, and we've heard it before. And we'll see, man. But it's exciting stuff. Again, like I said, we're going to be around here for Old School from 4 to 6 as well. So we'll
get
into
a
this.
double dose
of the dynamic duo. That's what we're rolling with today. So we're going to talk about this plenty more in detail. Coach Whipple also took to the podium. Still no information on who's going to be starting at quarterback. He kind of deflected, kind of deferred. We'll get into all of that great stuff. But it's a good time to be a Husker fan, guys. I'm telling you right now. The Kool-Aid is flowing here at the Ticket, and we're going to keep it rolling throughout the entire season. But we got Shootout with Strick next, 402-464-5685. Call now, Honda of Lincoln hotline. Challenge the Husker Hall of Famer at some trivia. $15 to Buffalo Wings and Rings. On the line next on the block, 93.7 The Ticket.
Gaina Trucking is hiring CDL Class A and B drivers. Gaina Trucking guarantees a 40-hour work week year-round, and their strong team culture makes it not a job, but a career. Gaina Trucking offers health, vision, and dental insurance, 401k with company match, an employee assistance program, and other bonus programs. Build a better career today with great team culture at Gaina Trucking. Learn more and apply today at GainaTrucking.com.
Need service on your home air conditioner? No matter what brand you have, just call Bryant, 467-1111. Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing.
Eustace Body Shop, where our customers send their friends. That's the greatest compliment we can receive. If you've been in an accident, we'll get you back in your vehicle as quickly as possible. Our technicians care about you and your family and repair your vehicle to factory standards. We handle your claim from start to finish and provide a free loaner car. Stop by for a free estimate. Eustace Body Shop, just south of 88th and Highway 2.
The most recommended Eustace Body Shop. That's who we are.
Bagels and Joe is in full summer mode. They'll add cold foam to the top of any iced coffee. Plus, they now have a Joe Coffee Club. Get unlimited drip coffee for just $8.95 per month. And don't forget their delicious breakfast burritos and sandwiches. Bagels and Joe, 4 Lincoln locations.
Hey, buying a used vehicle sucks, and the biggest problem is who can you trust? Hey, this is Carl from Price Right Auto out here at West O Street in Lincoln. Here's what customers have told us they want from us. They want transparent pricing with no games. We have all of our pricing on our website, plus a Carfax report. We don't want to buy a lemon. We include a 3-month warranty on all of our vehicles. We don't want to play games. Just make it simple. You saw that with non-commissioned salespeople. Can you trust us? Just check out our Google reviews. Again, this is Carl from Price Right Auto in West O. Check us out at PriceRightAuto.com.
Wow. Did you ever save me money on my car?
Yes, that's why our customers keep coming back.
How do you do it, friendly car dealer ?
We simply have low overhead and high trade-in values. The next line's yours.
Oh.
Ready for something better? Mullen Motors is a no-hassle, no-pressure dealership with financing available. Check out the inventory at MikeMullenMotors.com.
No taglines, just quality vehicles. Mullen Motors.
Are you sick of mindlessly running on a treadmill or the lack of motivation to consistently work out? Whatever your challenge, Farrell's Extreme Body Shaping can help. Whether you want to lose weight, boost energy, or simply improve your overall health, you'll fit right in at Farrell's regardless of age or abilities. Build endurance with their kickboxing and strength training group fitness classes while also getting nutrition coaching. Try Farrell's now for a free week. Visit fxblincoln.com or call Jeff at 402-310-4026. Farrell's Extreme Body Shaping.
Warhorse Casino is bringing winning opportunities to Lincoln. Get in on the action at our next job fair, Saturday, August 20th from 10 to 2 at the Cornhusker Marriott, 333 South 13th Street. We are hiring trailblazers in every department: beverage servers, slot, custodial, security, and more. Every employee is treated like family, and every role is essential in creating a one-of-a-kind experience. For information on openings and job fairs, go to warhorsecasino.com.
Early break with Sip and Jake.
You look at those big tackles they have mammoth tackles. Neither of those guys are particularly nimble. Bryce Benhart is never going to be confused with Allen Iverson.
No, I don't think that he will. That's the first time in history and forever going forward that Allen Iverson will be in the same sentence as Bryce Benhart.
They better be able to mash.
Early break with Sip and Jake from 6 to 8 every weekday morning
Get a lot of advice about self-care these days, but one of the most important self-care steps we can take is making sure we're financially secure later in life. For small steps you can take to save for retirement, visit WeSaySaveIt.org. A message from AARP and the Ad Council.
It's time to play Shootout with Strick. Call now, 464-5685, to take your shot against Eric Strickland. Shootout with Strick. Brought to you by Buffalo Wings and Rings.
Time to play the game! It's all about the game.
You heard that correctly. It is time to play the game, the trivia game, where you have a chance to win $15 to Buffalo Wings and Rings. You just got to beat Eric Strickland in some trivia. He's coming off a loss, too. I can't remember who it was that we played yesterday.
I think it was Dave.
Derek?
Dan?
Dave?
I
can't remember who it was, but he was on fire.
He was on fire.
We
Darren?
definitely want to hear from you guys. Was it Darren? It started with a D. It was
was
something,
Darren.
but he was pretty darn good. So go ahead and call us now, 402-464-5685. The trivia today is Ireland. So Ireland trivia. The Huskers are heading to Ireland, obviously. So I'm going to ask you about the country and see what you guys think. So 402-464-5685. Go ahead and call us now. Strick, do you want to talk some trash to people and fire them up a little bit?
Hey, all I can say is I don't like losing back-to-back. I am one of those men that will put up a fight to the end, and I don't fight fair. I fight dirty. Dirty, dirty, dirty. Scrapper. I'm a scrapper to the end, bro.
I know that to be the truth. Yeah. So Rico's going ahead and getting that caller now. That is true, Strick. You are
I'm a scrapper.
You are a scrapper. That's what made you so
I fight
successful
dirty.
in your career.
Yeah, I grab jerseys, I pull, I tug, I grab arms, wrists, you know what I mean? Little pushes in the back. Yeah, I do all of that.
Just kinda
Little pokes.
There you go.
You know what I mean? Yeah,
You
you
gotta do
had
what
to
you
do
gotta
that. Yeah, a couple guys cry about it. Your Reggie Millers and all of them.
Is he
you know,
really?
They cry about the
All
grab.
right.
They think I
Talks
grabbed
a lot
the
of
jersey.
trash, though.
But it's quick. It's a little hip grab that I used to have in my technique.
I believe it. All right, we're gonna head to the Honda of Lincoln hotline. Cullen is on the line. Cullen, how do you feel about Ireland trivia?
I don't know. We're about to find out, boys.
All right, that is the kind of attitude that we like to hear because I think Strick's probably in the same boat. Go ahead and stay on the line. You know how this works. We got to get Strick's answers first to see how much he knows about Ireland, and then Cullen, we will come back to you. Strick,
It's going to be a fight because I don't know nothing about it.
All right, well, we will
Until
go
I get
ahead
there.
and go. Are you ready?
Yeah.
All right, we'll go in 3, 2, and 1. What is the currency used in Ireland, the euro or the pound?
Euro.
That is correct. What musical symbol is the country's coat of arms, the harp or the violin?
Violin.
It's actually the harp. This is the largest lake in Ireland, Lough Neagh or Southwest?
Lough Neagh.
That is correct. What color was originally associated with St. Patrick, orange or blue?
Orange.
It was actually blue. And the Moneyball question, how many points did Northwestern score against Nebraska last year?
7.
You know, I like it to go to the end, Strick. I like to build the suspense here. At the buzzer, he gets it. 4 points for Eric Strickland. He would get 2 wrong. Not a bad score on a country that. Have you ever been to Ireland?
No.
All right. Well,
First time.
Now you know a little bit more about Ireland. Cullen, are you heading to Ireland for the game against Northwestern?
No, I am not.
All right. Well, now when you go to an Irish bar to watch the game, you can spit off some trivia questions. How does that sound?
Yep, sounds good to me.
All right, perfect. Well, 4 points is the number to beat. If you tie, we will go to a tiebreaker. Cullen, are you ready?
I'm ready.
All right, man. We will start in 3, 2, and 1. How is Ireland divided? East and west or north and south?
North and south.
That is correct. What is the national dish of Ireland? Chowder or stew?
Chowder.
It is actually stew. The Titanic was built in which Irish city? Waterford or Belfast?
Belfast.
That is correct. What is the most heavily populated county in Ireland? Dublin or Wexford?
Dublin.
That is correct. And for the win, how many points did Nebraska score against Northwestern last year?
56.
Oh! No!
Trick, unfortunately, at the buzzer, Cullen?
Boom, shakalaka.
You got it correct. You will defeat
Let's
Eric
go.
Strickland with 5 points. That will give you the
I had
win.
5 points.
No, you had 4.
You guys always cheating
No,
me.
no. I'll go ahead and give you this one too, Cullen.
It's a tiebreaker.
You finished him, and no flawless victory today, but we'll make sure to give you your shout out.
Give me a hell yeah.
Okay, thank you.
I said, give me a hell yeah.
Hell no.
So, Cullen,
Hell
as always, you can either take the high road or you can talk trash to Strick.
Bull junk.
I'm respectful, strict, always been a fan, big dog.
My man.
Love your guys' show. Keep doing what you're doing, boys.
Thanks, Cullen.
Cullen, we
Congratulations,
appreciate you,
man. Eat a good chicken. I play for the people. I gave you that one.
Go ahead and stay on the line. Nick's going to go ahead and get your information there. So that'll do it for Shootout with Strick today. So again, I hope you guys were paying attention because some pretty good trivia questions there. Maybe if you get a little drinks in you, you're at an Irish bar, you can just start spitting off some Irish trivia. Press all your
I think
friends.
Cullen got on a Google for that last one, especially after.
He was worried at first because I think he was stressing, but I remember that game very vividly. I was at that game, and Nebraska beat the absolute hell out of Northwestern. We can certainly use that again. Hey, 56-7 this year, I would be pretty confident. I know that for sure. We are going to take a quick break. We have a whole nother hour of On the Block right here. Got lots to talk about in the sports world. Big day. Deshaun Watson has officially been suspended. I'm not going to tell you. You got to stick around to figure out how many games he's suspended. Also going to talk some more Nebraska football. Lots of things coming up on the block for the second hour. Stick with us.
The dog days of summer are here. Is your yard in need of a touch-up as we head into the fall season? August, September, and October are the months for aeration, and Penner Sprinkler and Lawn is the place to call to get the job done right. If you're noticing any issues with your sprinkler system through the hot summer months, they're always a call away, and they're already scheduling installs for sprinkler systems for next year and all other lawn care needs. Call Penner Sprinkler and Lawn today at 402-413-1215.
Wow. Did you ever save me money on my car?
Yes, that's why our customers keep coming back.
How do you do it, friendly car dealer ?
We simply have low overhead and high trade-in values. The next line's yours.
Oh.
Ready for something better? Mullen Motors is a no-hassle, no-pressure dealership with financing available. Check out the inventory at MikeMullenMotors.com.
No taglines, just quality vehicles. Mullen Motors.
At Venue Catering and Events, we offer 2 of the most historic ballrooms in Lincoln. The Jasmine Room, located in the historic Grand Manse in the heart of downtown, featuring a beautiful built-in antique bar, spacious patio, and soaring skylit ceilings. The Scottish Rite Ballroom, located just 2 blocks from the state's capital, boasts intricate hand-carved columns, rich dark wood floors, and lavish chandeliers. The perfect venues to host your wedding, corporate event, or much more. For availability and more information, call us at 402-603-6483.
Are you sick of mindlessly running on a treadmill or the lack of motivation to consistently work out? Whatever your challenge, Farrell's Extreme Body Shaping can help. Whether you want to lose weight, boost energy, or simply improve your overall health, you'll fit right in at Farrell's regardless of age or abilities. Build endurance with their kickboxing and strength training group fitness classes while also getting nutrition coaching. Try Farrell's now for a free week. Visit fxblincoln.com or call Jeff at 402-310-4026. Farrell's Extreme Body Shaping. It's tailgate season. Why would you bounce around from place to place for all your beverage needs when you could have it all in one place? Wine, Beer, and Spirits has everything for your parties with their 3 locations in Lincoln, Grand Island, and Omaha. It's the largest liquor store in the state, and here's the best part. You can get a drink from their bar and walk around with it as you shop for all your tailgate necessities. Locally owned and operated, it's Wine, Beer, and Spirits on North 27th Street in Lincoln.
My computer was a dinosaur, and our TV, well, let's just say it was definitely time for an upgrade. But finding a way wasn't so simple. And then I found it. A research study at Solarion. I searched the studies and found a perfect match for me. I earned cash for the study and was able to make those much-needed upgrades. Plus, I made an impact on medical research. Find a study and sign up today at helpresearch.com.
You should consider the risks of the research before you agree to participate.
Hey, buying a used vehicle sucks, and the biggest problem is who can you trust? Hey, this is Carl from Price Right Auto out here at West O Street in Lincoln. Here's what customers have told us they want from us. They want transparent pricing with no games. We have all of our pricing on our website, plus a Carfax report. We don't want to buy a lemon. We include a 3-month warranty on all of our vehicles. We don't want to play games. Just make it simple. You saw that with non-commissioned salespeople. Can you trust us? Just check out our Google reviews. Again, this is Carl from Price Right Auto in West O. Check us out at pricerightauto.com.
In every office, there's two types of people. There are those who bring in bagels and those who eat the bagels that someone else brought in. Everybody likes the first person. Be that first person. Weekday mornings at 7:30, you have a chance to win a business box of bagels from Bagels and Joe. All you have to do is shut up, Sipple. 2 questions for you, 2 for Sip. Win, and the bagels are yours. Lose, well, you don't want to lose.
You lost Monday, you lost Wednesday, you're a loser.
Shut up, Sipple. Weekday mornings at 7:30, brought to you by Bagels and Joe.
I grew up hearing that women are bad with money. But like many of you, I spent years paying bills, managing checking accounts, and taking care of my family. So turns out women are pretty good with money after all. And now I'm taking control of my financial future by saving for retirement. It's never too late to start, and there's a great website to help you. Check out WeSaySaveIt.org and jumpstart your retirement savings on your budget and your timeline. That's WeSaySaveIt.org. Brought to you by AARP and the Ad Council.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com.
On the internet.
KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket. This is On the Block with Strick and Nate. Nebraska Basketball Hall of Famer and 9-year NBA vet, Eric Strickland.
Strickland for 3. He's going to go out of here as the Big 8 tournament champion.
And Hokie Homer turned Husker, Nathan Brennan.
Everyone knows that I'm the smartest person here.
Coming at you live from the heart of Lincoln, America. On air and online at theticketfm.com. Brought to you by Mary Ellen's Food for the Soul. This is On the Block with Strick and Nate.
Welcome back to On the Block. It is the second hour. You can always find us here at the new time of 2 to 4. We thank you all for joining us. Also, subscribe to our YouTube channel. Tap in, hit the subscribe button, notification, set it on. So when On the Block comes on at 2 to 4, you can find us there on the stream. We thank you to Sauter Heyman and the text line, as well as the Honda Lincoln hotline. You can always get in the conversation right there at 402-464-5685. You can find us on the app as well, 93.7 The Ticket, theticketfm.com. There is a not a slow, but a wonderful lineup of great content that comes through this station on a daily basis.
Every day.
And so we will be also joining the next 2 hours after our show's over at 2 to 4. We'll be taking on Old School and having some discussions over there, continuing or having some new content that we're going to share. News is always happening from a day to day and a time to time and an hour to hour and a minute to minute basis. There's a lot of news that is popping on out there, but there's one that popped up right now that will benefit the Huskers as well as UCLA, USC, and the Rutgers of the new group and the Marylands, the ones that they don't even think is in the group like you. You still think they're in the ACC?
I always forget about Maryland. I really do.
But text line, I need to know one thing. Text line, holla at your boy Strick. 402-464-5685. The Sauter Heyman text line. I need to know, is Nate Brennan the smartest dude in the room? He said it. He said it out of his own mouth. I need to know from the fans, is Nate Dogg the smartest guy in this space?
Hey,
I just want to know.
Hey, listen, if Nebraska wins 9 games, I think that I might have to get credit for that one. But it's funny because Mark was the one who I believe produced the intro for On the Block, and I don't even remember when I said that. And I came in on Monday and heard that. It's pretty good. So shout out to Mark for that one. But yeah, why not?
Great intro.
It is good.
At least it's better. At least to me, it's better than I Love Bread.
Right.
From my old partner.
The Bill Callahan fan club.
Oh man, it's hilarious. But listen, a lot of news is out there, and What'd he say?
He said he ain't the smartest dude in the closet.
Oh gosh, that small space, not the walk-in closets, not the ones that got the walk-in with all the space. Yeah, the small closets. Yeah. Oh gosh. So here is the text line's hot, bro.
Took me 30 seconds to find a ridiculous Nate quote. Literally, Nate Dogg wouldn't be the smartest guy in the produce section of the grocery store.
They're killing you, Nate Dogg.
I guess I'm not the smartest.
They're getting murked today. But listen, let's talk about the Big Ten. What came down the pipeline on the Big Ten as they've got wonderful news out of their media relations deal? $7 billion plus going to the mountain. They're not going to the Lord-a-dee-doo, Lord-a-dee. They ain't going that way. They going up Mount Everest, baby. They're taking it to the top. Right now, as of 2023, they're expected to produce more than $1 billion annually. That is amazing. But one of the things I think that came out of that as well, after the news broke, was he said, we're not done expanding. Text line, do you think the expansion was held up because of the waiting of this media rights deal? Or do you think that they were doing it and then the expansion would come knowing what it would bring to the table for the media in an expansion deal? How do you feel about it? Sutter Heyman text line, let us know your thoughts, 402-464-5685. But Nate, since you're the smartest guy in the room, I want to know what the smartest guy thinks.
Well, let's go through some of these numbers first and just some of the facts. So in case you guys are just checking in, the Big Ten announced today that it reached a 7-year agreement with Fox, CBS, and NBC to share the rights to conferences, football, and basketball games. Now, keep in mind that would leave out ABC, who in turn would leave out ESPN, which was kind of my first thought. We can get into that in a second. The deal goes into effect in 2023. That would be next season. It would expire in 2030 and eventually will allow the conference's soon to be 16-member universities to share more than $1 billion per year. Now, that deal could end up being around $10 billion with certain stipulations. I'm not entirely sure what that will be. Each network will air the Big Ten's championship football game at least once during the length of the deals, while Fox secures the rights to 4 of them. So
Fox, the thing about the Big Ten in 2023, 2024 is that you're going to be able to watch Big Ten football, basketball, all things Big Ten on all Fox affiliates. That's Fox Sports 1, the Big Ten Network, CBS, NBC, and streaming site of Peacock.
That's where I think it gets really interesting, gets a little dicey, because this shift towards streaming services is going to be weird, because network television as we know it is changing every day, every year. Text line brings up too, if we don't get Notre Dame, I'll be disappointed. I think that's part of why maybe they looped NBC into this. Now, I'm not sure, don't quote me on saying that, but maybe that's why you wanted to pull NBC, because they have that huge contract with Notre Dame.
Yeah.
Maybe this would somehow entice them. I don't know NBC's relationship with Notre Dame. I don't know how long that contract lasts until, but
I think you're going to see more. I think you're going to see more matchups.
I think so too.
Between those, with that crowd. Go ahead.
I think so too. But the way that we view network television today is ever changing. It's very fascinating what will happen within the next 10 to 20 years. So I think the shift is towards the Peacock, the Paramount Plus, and all that. But then how does that affect viewership? Because you got to think, a lot of the times we have these big games, they're on cable television. They're on a Fox, CBS, NBC, sometimes ABC too. But if you're shifting everything to Peacock, let me know what you guys think too. 402-464-5685. Are you paying for the subscription? Because this is basically now shifting that if you want to watch a Big Ten matchup, you essentially have to get the streaming service. Well, is that what it's becoming?
Well, the thing about streaming services now that I find unique is that you have your YouTube TVs, you have your Hulu TVs, where they have the streaming platforms where you can go onto an ABC and so forth, and these different channels.
Right.
But you actually can get on certain editions a package deal. Like, for example, when I got Hulu, I mean, not that I wanted Disney, but it ends up coming with
You
it.
got
So,
Disney Plus.
it came with it as a part of signing up for the TV version of it. So it is a lot of stuff is shifting towards that platform. I personally think cable, because I don't watch all that crazy stuff they give you, and it's like 200 something bucks, $300.
Yeah.
And I don't watch half of it. So, for me, the streaming method, if I just had to channel in on one specific thing that I like, just because I'm only going to pay $5, $8, $10 for it, as opposed to freaking paying 130. I mean, I might be down for that. But I think you're right. But you do have the access to get ABC and NBC and with some of those streaming platforms where they've added basically like cable channels, and they're basic channels. You don't get all the elaborate channels that you would get on a cable, but there's available.
And you can still get an antenna, and that'll come with all the basic channels too.
Yeah, you remember the old, and see, man, you're young.
I know. Come on, I know.
Buck.
You got to you got to respect. Everyone claims that I'm part. What is it? What was after millennials? Gen Z?
Yeah.
Is that what it is?
Yeah.
I'm technically Gen Z, but I do not associate with Gen Z, Strick. I remember the antenna days.
You remember those days?
I remember, and I remember.
We had to roll them up.
Phone. I remember calling on the home phone. I did not grow up with an iPhone. I do not relate with that generation.
I bet you don't remember this.
All right, what's that?
In the 80s, we had the cable boxes.
Okay.
It's not the cable box that you think now. Now they've got, then there was something that crept in and broke out called TiVo. That thing came in.
Oh, TiVo. I remember TiVo.
But it started the recording stuff. Okay. But we had the cable box. The real box. The box was shaped about the size of a computer, thick.
Okay.
And it had number channels on it from 1 to about 100. And you literally had to push which number? 9. I want to watch 25. I want to watch 50.
So no remote?
No remote. You had to walk up to the TV and push the cable box. You don't remember that. If anybody remembers the cable box out there, I don't know. See, my dad, I don't know if it was a military thing. He was a military officer. I don't know if we got access to things that most people didn't, because it was some inside, type stuff going on.
Right.
But anyway, I just want to throw that out there.
See, I don't remember that, but trust me, I remember the OG days a little bit. Gus says, man, the TV schedule is awesome. 11 on Fox, 2:30 on CBS, and a primetime slot on NBC, plus Big Ten Network games. Better chance we don't have to play the crappy 11 a.m. game. Yeah, that's true.
Look at that texter.
I knew.
He knows what I'm talking about.
MTV.
That was my
Channel
favorite
25.
spot. 80s was an MTV generation. If you was in the 80s, you an MTV generation kid, boy. And the favorite thing that used to come on is, "'Cause this is Thriller." I was scared. I used to sleep with a knife under my pillow because I used to watch Thriller.
Hey,
yeah,
Rico's
bro.
dancing over there.
I used to sleep with all the lights on. My dad would be like, "Yo, what's going on? When all the lights are on?" Bro, I was trying to make sure I see shadows. If I saw a shadow coming, they was gonna get it. Shoot.
Eric's giving you a shout out too. I remember the cable box days. Discovery Plus is awesome. We just signed up. It also includes the Food Network. And yes, I remember the cable box. I also remember an antenna with just 4 channels. Hey, I've got one of those antennas in my room too, just in case like everything falls apart. Because that's the thing. Some of these streaming services, I don't know if I trust these streaming services. I got an antenna as a backup. I gotta get my
What
sports.
happens when the storm comes?
That's why you get your antenna. Get your antenna ready. I'm telling you. You'll be all right.
No, the ones that used to really upset me, bro, was the freaking dishes. Dish Network.
That was
I used to want to go outside and kick that thing off the freaking balconies.
Because that's what DirecTV uses too. Is DirecTV still a thing?
I don't even know.
Because they're losing Sunday
They're
Ticket.
losing a lot
I
of
think this
stuff.
is the last year of Sunday Ticket on DirecTV.
Yeah.
Correct me if I'm wrong, text line, but they're really bleeding too. I think this whole thing really depends on what kind of shift we have away from network television in the next 10 to 20 years. Because I think the shift is coming. I don't know how quick it's going to happen. But right now, I mean, I'm right there with you, Gus. If this is actually the setup where we're going Fox, CBS, NBC, That's pretty darn cool because that's kind of how we view NFL games right now. It's kind of a similar type of setup. But if it's shifted towards the streaming services, are they going to butt heads on something like this? I'm surprised they were able to filter out a contract and include all 3 of these networks, to be honest with you. It's impressive.
I'm trying to see what this SEC deal is going to look like. Now, Sutter Heyman text line 402-464-5685. Does the Big Ten, are the Big Ten fans more loyal than the SEC fans, and just the SEC provides, top line talent and wins it more? But I still think something in me thinks that the Big Ten fans, they travel better, they're more active, and their view. I don't know. I could be wrong. If I'm wrong, please text me and just give me your thoughts. I'd love to hear what you have to say about that part too, because I'm interested to see what this next deal for the SEC is going to look like, being that, hey, Big Ten got out there ahead of the ball and jumped out there in front.
Well, it's interesting because now that you're throwing in USC and UCLA, I think that helps the money shift, but I still believe that money, like actual money in the programs, in the actual football programs, I still think belongs to the SEC. And what's also interesting is me and Bach have had this discussion too. Outside of Ohio State, what schools that aren't in the South, like the southern region of the United States, have won a championship?
LSU,
USC. You have Ohio State, USC,
Oklahoma, or Texas.
Texas, are you considering that the South?
Oh, shoot.
I mean, that it depends on how you. I interpret Texas as the South. I interpret Oklahoma as the South too.
Did Oregon win it?
Oregon never won. So it's you have to go back to Nebraska basically in '97.
No Oklahoma win. Oklahoma got one done.
Do you consider that the South?
No.
Okay, so we'll throw Oklahoma in there.
Midwest.
So '97 when it split Nebraska and Michigan. And then you have your USC, and I believe it was 05-06, and then Ohio State. Other than that, predominantly the SEC has ran, or maybe not even the SEC, you can just say the southern portion of the United States. You can throw in the Miamis, the Clemsons, the Florida States, ACC schools. But with that being said, still southern portion of the United States. I think that might be where the Big Ten runs into trouble. And that's where, maybe not trouble is the right word, but I think the SEC, when the time comes, will demand a larger contract. And I can't even imagine what that contract's going to look like.
Yeah.
$10 billion. This has the chance at $10 billion. That's unbelievable. That is insanity.
That is insanity. Chevy Husker guy stated that, I believe this because I was born in Auburn, and
right.
Opelika and Auburn, but so they are very loyal. Now they show up. But what he states though is he says SEC fans are very loyal, but the SEC covers a poor part of the country. It is hard to travel. Growing up in Georgia with dog fans, I can say that they are loyal as Nebraska fans, just dirtier. I would love to understand that. Like, what do you mean? Like they're grimy? Like if you show up to like if LSU shows up in there, are they musty? Do they stinky? Or are they just dirty? Like they'll throw beers at you and stuff, or what? I'd love to hear what that means.
Yeah, I'm not entirely sure, but I think it'll be interesting. It's a fair point, but again, for the most part, the southern portion of the United States has run college football.
Yeah, I think Texas says Clemson. I think Clemson fits in the South. They're South Carolina. I mean, they're just right there next to Georgia.
Carolina, yeah,
it's a Southeast. I still consider that as very much
I would
South.
throw Clemson in there too.
Yeah.
You'll like this one, Strick. Ellis says, "Good Lord, fellas, when I grew up, we had a 13-inch black and white television. You had to get up off your couch and manually turn the channel.
Facts.
There's no such thing as a remote control.
Facts.
Oh, and by the way, if any of you have been the people walking across my grass, get off my lawn and quit playing that hip-hop hogwash music."
All I can say is I see no lies detected. Truth. That's how it looked.
Fair enough.
That's how it was.
Yeah,
you had to get up. You could not, no sitting around, looking around, no ordering off the Amazon, trying to get the new remote. No, that didn't work.
We're in a better time now, I'll tell you that much. John in Cortland says
I
Nebraska
bet
fans.
wait, hold on. Before you say that, Nate, I want you to say that, but I still bet nobody, Streaky had one. But I bet you nobody had the Motorola phone in the backpack. I bet you nobody listening on the Sutter Heyman text line had the motor. Now you might have had
the backpack. What?
The phone was so big that I had to carry it with a little pack on my side, and you put it in there, and you walked around with this pack on your side, and it was a phone.
What?
I bet nobody had that.
When was this?
I had that in college.
In college?
That's what
So
baseball
you
does
carried
for you.
around the backpack?
I had carried it looked like the little fanny pack things that you have, but it was a little pack. Yeah, had a phone in it.
Interesting. I've never even seen that before because I've watched Saved by the Bell.
Now, y'all had the motor phone. Some of y'all on the phone had the Motorola flip phone.
You know what I'm
y'all
talking
had
about?
that.
Have you watched Saved by the Bell?
I have.
The Zach Morris phone. What phone was that? He
The
had
big
phone. the big one,
box,
the big tan one.
Yeah, the big
Did you have
box,
one of
the
those?
long one.
Yeah,
I had one.
You had one of those.
Yeah.
See, those were cool.
Those were pretty cool.
That was the time.
That was
I
like you were
that was pretty
like
fresh.
Star Trek or something.
Yeah,
like you were
that
on
one-
Star Trek.
And you just look cool having a phone like that. Yeah. John Quirlin says Nebraska fans, then the rest of the rest. Outdoors Kevin says how much for each team. I think when it filters out, it looks like it's going to be around 70 million a season for these teams. It is the first reports that I thought. I don't know if they've filtered all of it out, which team gets what up to this point. Chevy Husker guy says dirtier and more shady towards opponents and their fans. I have also gotten that kind of perception from the South, from those Southern teams. That's just an SEC thing, though. I think that's just kind of how it works. Texter says, I'm only 32 and we had a bag phone. Dad would take it out to the tractor so he could call home to tell us when he was full. And another texter says, my dad had a bag phone. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, I had that bag phone, Motorola.
It was literally like lugging around a backpack.
You had an over the shoulder strap in the bag set right beside your side.
That's kind of cool.
It wasn't heavy, but it was, it was
It was
irritating.
something. I mean,
it was irritating.
First times that people had phones.
Yeah.
Texter says I had a car phone.
Wow.
So
that means he had the Luciano. He had Mega Luci.
What does that mean? A car phone? It's like it would run off gas?
He had the original in the car phone.
What do you mean in the car phone?
That means he was
I'm
the first.
showing how young I am.
He's the first to have the phone like we have right now, basically. He had that interstellar technology.
Oh, like in the phone,
I guess.
Or in the car.
I don't know. I'm just throwing stuff out there.
I have no idea. Help us out, Texter. He said I had a car phone. Leroy said my mother had a bag phone too. I don't even know what this is. Again, I'm just showing off my age. I remember when my dad first came back with the BlackBerry. And the BlackBerry, I still don't know how people typed on that. Do you know the little buttons? You probably had a BlackBerry. The BlackBerry was pretty fresh when it came out. I was like, this is the coolest thing
BlackBerry
ever.
was pretty cool. Then Nokia popped on the scene, kind of got in the game. And then I bet some of y'all don't remember the Sidekick.
Was that the one that flipped both ways?
The Sidekick, it wasn't even a phone. It was a two-way pager. That's the start of what we got right now.
The two-way pager is what you're
two-way pager.
Because I remember it was the one phone that it would slide both ways. Or no, it would flip. It would flip sideways and then flip up too. My first phone I remember was the Intensity 2.
Yeah.
Slide
phone. Yeah. Okay, that was tight.
He texted on it.
But
cool.
but that then, Duke says, yes, yes, I do. Oh, yeah. Beta popped on the scene for like 6 months and then was out.
Beta?
Yeah. They used to have beta tapes.
I remember
the old
VHS.
school VHS. They shrunk them down to beta and they were selling these little beta machines where you could watch the beta
So it's
tapes.
kind of like a cassette disc.
Yeah, it was bigger than the cassette. It was a little fatter. And yeah, Beta popped on the scene and got out of there just like Blockbuster didn't want to make the change. And then what was they called? What were the little things that they had sitting? They have them still right now. Redbox.
The
Redbox popped on the scene and killed Blockbuster.
I was talking to they did, and so did Netflix, because when Netflix figured out that they could just stream everything, even when Netflix was shipping out movies, that was pretty cool. You'd like type in what movie you wanted, they ship it to you, you ship it back. I was talking to Carly about this the other day. I have no idea how Redbox is still in business.
Right.
Well, because I was looking at the movies the other day because I was curious. I was like, oh, that'd be kind of fun to get a Redbox. You can stream all of them.
Yeah. I don't even have, the only way I don't even have a DVD player now. I just put it on the PlayStation or something.
That's what I'm saying. I remember this was the most frustrating thing. I know we got to get to break, but I'll say this is one of the most frustrating things that my dad ever did. I remember.
I see you, Gus. Shout out. I see you.
I think it was right when the PlayStation 3 came out, and it had Blu-ray capabilities. And it was the same price to get a Blu-ray player and a PlayStation 3. He got the Blu-ray player. And I was just
Limitations.
I'm like, I don't know,
bro.
14 years old. I didn't want to play the PlayStation. So eventually he caved. So we had a Blu-ray player and a PlayStation 3. I still don't understand to this day. He might even be listening right now, so maybe he can explain himself, because I still, to this day, don't understand why we would ever get a Blu-ray player. Is Blu-ray still a thing?
I don't even think so, bro.
Blu-ray?
I remember
Blu-ray was cool.
But that's the thing. The capabilities is on the PlayStation, especially on the 5 now. I'm debating on if I even want to get a PlayStation 5.
When NCAA 24 comes out,
you're going to get it?
I from what I've heard, it's exclusively PlayStation 5. Are they on the Xbox 2 now?
They're an Xbox 10 or something, Xbox X or something.
Xbox X. I've always been a PlayStation guy, so I don't know what Xbox is doing. We're going to have to go ahead and take a break. Coming up after this, we're going to talk Deshaun Watson. Not good. Or I guess depending on if you're a Browns fan, you probably will take it, because it's not going to be the entire season, just going to be 11 games. So we're going to talk about that next. Make sure you stick with us. You're listening to On the Block, 93.7 The Ticket.
My computer was a dinosaur, and our TV, well, let's just say it was definitely time for an upgrade. But finding a way wasn't so simple. And then I found it. A research study at Solarion. I searched the studies and found a perfect match for me. I earned cash for the study and was able to make those much-needed upgrades. Plus, I made an impact on medical research. Find a study and sign up today at helpresearch.com.
You should consider the risks of the research before you agree to participate.
Hi, Sean Callahan here for Coppel Chevrolet GMC, and things are cooking in Louisville. Right now, our pre-owned sales are off the charts, and we have loaded up the lots full of inventory. We've got a great supply of Sierras, Silverados, Tahoes, Yukons, and crossovers. Plus, we've got a great supply of back-to-school cars just in time for the big day. Don't forget about all of those new 2022 and 2023 units arriving every day as well. So please take that short money-saving drive down 144th Street or shop online at coppelcars.com. You'll be glad you did.
Wow. Did you ever save me money on my car?
Yes, that's why our customers keep coming back.
How do you do it, friendly car dealer ?
We simply have low overhead and high trade-in values. The next line's yours.
Oh.
Ready for something better? Mullen Motors is a no-hassle, no-pressure dealership with financing available. Check out the inventory at MikeMullenMotors.com.
No taglines, just quality vehicles. Mullen Motors.
The fall sports season is here, and Brown Shoe Fit is celebrating that with a sale on athletic shoes. From now through the end of August, get $10 off any regular priced athletic shoe up to $105, and get $15 off shoes regularly priced at over $105. These are shoe brands including New Balance, Brooks, Hoka, and On. Gear up for the busy fall season today with the athletic shoe sale at Brown Shoe Fit, located at 66th and Q.
Imagine your next staff meeting. Now imagine your next staff meeting with a side of ribs. Your next client presentation? Or that same client presentation with brisket and baked beans. It's better, right? Let Mary Ellen's Food for the Soul take care of all of your business catering needs. Feed the staff, cater your next event, whatever you need, Mary Ellen's can help. They can even host your events in their brand new event space located right next to the restaurant. Go see for yourself. Mary Ellen's Food for the Soul at 29th and Pine Lake or online at maryellens.com. Let them fix you a plate. Empire Fence and Netting in Waverly is now hiring for several positions. They're looking for a fence installer for both commercial and residential, for local projects, and ones that require travel. They also have openings for operators, dirt work, welding positions, and applicants with CDLs are very desirable. If you're looking for a locally operated business that provides excellent work for customers and great benefits and care for its employees, email info@empire-fence.com or give them a call at 402-682-7658. Empire Fence and Netting.
93.7 The Ticket. Fox KFXL weather. Sponsored by Security First Bank. A relationship you can count on.
Expect mostly sunny skies. Slightly warmer conditions will top out at around 88 with southwest winds at 10 to 15. We will see a chance of widely scattered thunderstorms this evening into tonight. A low of around 63. A continued chance of showers tomorrow, slightly cooler with a high of 83. I'm meteorologist Tim Wright for 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Action Plumbing, Heating, Air, and Electric brings exciting career opportunities for you or someone you know. They are now hiring plumbers, electricians, and HVAC techs and installers to continually build their professional team. They offer competitive pay, and full benefits packages that include health, dental, vision, PTO, and 401k options. Action has created a positive team environment for over 50 years. Apply online at actionlincoln.com.
Sandhills Global is hiring. Check out sandhills.jobs for more information. Sandhills is looking to fill hundreds of new openings in sales, traveling support, software development, web design, and more. Sandhills has a professional culture and is fast-paced with a focus on growth, innovation, and leading-edge technologies. Career and internship opportunities are available at our global headquarters in Lincoln, Nebraska. Apply today at sandhills.jobs.
We stand on the shoulders of women who came before us.
Women who fought for their own financial futures.
And now it's our turn.
Join us. Visit WeSaySaveIt.org and take control of your financial future by saving for retirement.
A message from AARP and the Ad Council.
Back to On the Block with Strick and Nate on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
You're listening to On the Block, 93.7 The Ticket. I am Nate Brennan. He is the Husker Hall of Famer, 9-year NBA vet Eric Strickland. 402-464-5685. As always, we want to hear from you guys. Starter Heyman text line, Honda of Lincoln hotline, 402-464-5685. The block is hot right now. That is for sure. So I think that the texter was making fun of. He says, yes, Nate, the phone ran on gas, exclamation point. Looking back, I think that was kind of dumb. I'm assuming that it probably does not run on gas. I don't know how that would work entirely. That probably was ahead of its time. Gus says car phone usually was installed in the console between the front two seats. That's awesome. Also, texter sends in, I don't know if you see this one, Strick, the 4939. He sends in the bag phone. That needs to be put in a museum because that is pretty.
Look at
cool.
Lavender Chance on the YouTube stream.
I haven't
Always thank you to tapping in on that. Lavender Chance, a big time watcher of On the Block. He's always there. He says it was like the bag phone. You had the built-in power unit that was mounted in the car. Yep, I actually had one. I had one in my car actually that was mounted in the car, so you can take it out. And then you can put it in the bag. But then also when you get in the car, boom, you put it in a little thing right there on the top of the armrest. Yeah, I remember that. Good call.
I don't know any of this. So I'm going off of what you guys say. Ben's got a fun story for us. He said, I had a friend who would rent a movie from Redbox every day on his way home from class and just have it as background noise while studying. After a couple years of this, he got an email from Redbox congratulating him on being in the top 5% of customers. So I don't know how many Redbox.
What do you think of read about that? I don't know if that's a good look.
I don't know. I don't know how to interpret that, Ben, but that's a pretty cool story. That's pretty awesome right there.
Yeah.
Jay in Lincoln says, Strick, are you taking requests for souvenirs while you're overseas at the game?
Cash out. Are you saying me donating to the cause?
I don't understand what Jay Lincoln's asking for.
Yeah, I mean, I'll take some pictures and you say, hey, I want that if I'm still around.
There you go.
Cash app.
Hizzlebear says you want the PS5. So does Rico, because he says that NCAA 2024 is only going to be available on the new consoles.
Mm-hmm.
Gus Mohawk says, my first TV had a dial and that dial broke. My dad used the oven dial. My favorite channel was 300 degrees. That's pretty cool, man.
That sounds like a boy band.
That's cool. 300 degrees. I think we're onto something. We should start a band.
Let's start a new band called 300 Degrees.
Might as well.
But we're gonna get back to sports talk real quick.
I know.
Great stuff. Text line hot.
It is.
Thank you guys for always making our day
always,
fun. Great conversations going on the text line 402-464-5685. The Sutter Heyman text line and the Honda Lincoln hotline. So listen, everybody is talking about it. Everybody, there's debate about it. I knew that it wasn't going to be what it was going to be at 6. I figured upon, the NFL basically saying we're going to appeal. I knew that it was going to change and it was not going to be that number. I thought it might have been maybe 3 games or so. It came in at a 5 more games. It sounds like started at 6.
Right.
So it looks like it's going to finalize at 11. So at this point, it's really a debate on how you feel about it. Does Deshaun Watson have the opportunity to even return to the game? How is it going to affect the women viewers of football?
Yeah.
Does it change that dynamic? Is it enough? How much does someone need to be punished in order to be able to redeem themselves? I personally am a person of grace. I know that we all fall short. We all make mistakes. If we put the picture and the movie of our lives on screen and on display, what would it say?
Right.
You know, even myself, I mean, I've made tremendous mistakes in life and hadn't always done it right. I tell kids all the time when I go and speak to them, I'm very transparent. I mean, we keeps it real on the block. I'm going to tell you, I tell kids all the time, I say, hey, listen, the only difference between me and you is that in some of these instances, I didn't get caught. It wasn't that I haven't done anything. I've done some things just like you do when I speak to kids underprivileged or those that have gotten in some trouble. So what is too much? Is it enough? What is your thoughts with regard to this Deshaun Watson situation? Do you think it's enough, or do you think more needed to be done? I think once it's come down the pipeline, I think, person, has, once he does his time, we gotta in some ways maybe extend some grace, or, I mean, do we just continue to harp and put the knife in the back until, you can't do it anymore? I don't know. I'm just speculating.
Personally, no, I don't agree with it. I think it should have been a full season. I don't know if maybe him not playing last season went into it. I know there's a lot of legal issues behind it because the NFL was getting involved. Obviously, the court system, the United States government is involved. It's just a bizarre situation, and I'm glad it was more than 6. I don't think 6 would have been enough, to be honest with you. I
agree.
6 games in the grand scheme of things in the NFL season, yeah, it's
lot.
big, but it's still less than half.
There's no money loss.
There's still less than half.
Yeah.
So you can recover from that. If the Browns as a team are good, they'll recover. But if the quarterback is the step they need, 11 games is probably enough to keep you out of the playoffs in a 17-game season, which I think might have been the mindset on that. No, I don't think it was enough. In Cleveland, Mike says, you guys should have heard the press conference. Watson came off like an absolute bleep. We won't use that word, Cleveland Mike. That's what kind of rubbed me the wrong way. So Deshaun Watson, when he took the podium, reporters were kind of asking him about it, and he stands by his innocence. He said that he's not guilty, but he's using this as an opportunity to move on and move forward. I don't really know how to interpret that. I understand that he wants to move past this. That's why he accepts the suspension. He accepts the fine of $5 million, and he's moving on. But I just don't know how to interpret that. It's just the whole situation rubs me the wrong way. I don't think it's a good look for the NFL. To your point, Strick, I'm very curious to see how this impacts the female fan base of the NFL too, because the NFL has grown so much. I mean, it's gone overseas. It's every different demographic, age group, genders. I mean, the NFL seriously has become a kind of America's new pastime now that baseball's kind of took a step to the side. And I'm curious to see how that impacts everything, because I'm not a woman. I'm not going to speak like I am one. It'd be interesting to have them speak on this conversation, but I don't like how he's responded to this, to be honest with you. It's almost as if Deshaun Watson has no regrets. He just kind of is just pushing it to the side. And maybe that's not how he's meaning to come off, but Cleveland Mike makes a good point. Like in his press conference, he didn't sound remorseful. He didn't sound like he regretted it. And that just rubs me the wrong way a little bit.
I think it's a two-part thing. I think what you just said is a huge part of it. I think anytime we go through a situation or a circumstance, I think humility and those things are imperative.
Absolutely.
I think it's one of the most important things that you want to try to do to come across is, even in the error of your personal belief of feeling innocent, right? You still have to show publicly, because if you're going down, you're usually first going down in the era of public opinion. Once the public opinion has made an established opinion about you, the only way to even come out from under that is by way of humility.
You're right.
Boom. That's one. Second thing, the issue is that's got a lot of people, underwear and panties in a bunch, is the fact that he's not losing anything. You've got to blame that on Cleveland. That is totally in Cleveland's hand that they could have mitigated, because it's a different thing to have the suspension, but it's a different thing to have the suspension and it counteracts itself by not losing any cashola
at all.
You know what I mean? I think that's where the problem comes in. I think if he could have lost, he lost the last year. If there was financial obligations mired to that, plus the 11 games, the loss of what that was, maybe even a give back of some of the bonus money.
Right. Because it's just $5 million.
You know what I mean?
Contract is
so
nothing.
Yeah, man. I think when you add those things, maybe people could say, Dan, you know what? He took a licking. But not when you get in the full bag and you didn't get. That's the only way to counteract that is probably a full season. That's the only way. And then it didn't happen, so people aren't going to be happy. Sometimes, though, in this generation now, there's nothing you can do to be happy outside of you going to the clink. And that's the part that I think I'm not in that extreme area. I don't find myself delving into the extremes of these situations. I am a free thinking, listen to both sides.
Right.
And obviously one side's going to have a story, the other side's going to have a story. Somewhere in between the gray areas of that story is the truth. And so I try to find understanding on both sides of that.
And it sounds like they did find the middle ground, and that middle ground again is going to be 11 game suspension and $5 million fine. But I think this is also what rubs me the wrong way, and some other people too, is Texter brings up, it's a joke that Ridley got a year suspension. That's part of the problem too. And it's situations like that. Josh Gordon, for crying out loud, got banned from the NFL for, I think, a year and a half, has been suspended for full seasons. And it's interesting to see where the NFL picks their battles. And that's what I think rubs a lot of people the wrong way too, that you have a situation like Calvin Ridley, who was gambling on games, and he admitted to it, and he gets an entire year. And it's very bizarre. I don't know their process, and I'm not going to act like they do, but that's part of it too. And we've seen in the past situations, maybe not exactly like this one, but ones that have rubbed the people the wrong way, and the suspensions haven't been that harsh. It's very interesting what they pick and choose, and I think that's also what rubs people the wrong way.
Can you, Texter says, can you review for us the allegations and what he's been charged with? He hasn't been charged, because that's over. The charge in itself was, gosh darn it, I don't want to even put it out there, but nonetheless, it's irrelevant, because what he was initially charged with,
right,
the DAs, the district attorneys, decided not to pursue a criminal case, and therefore it shifted over and became civil. And a good portion of those, I don't know if it's still one or two, but a good portion of those,
still two.
It's still two. I'm not positive, but most of those have settled on an agreed amount. Obviously, those are sealed. We don't know the details on that for the texter that's listening. But at the end of the day, the charges, there are no charges with regards to criminal case. There's only civil case pending. I believe there's two of them that are still outstanding. And so all of this is being done by the NFL. They've already had an arbitrator who was outside of it, just kind of a mediator. They appealed the case because it was 6 games originally. And no, I don't think there was even a fine, but there were 6 games.
I think you're right.
And then they appealed. And in the appeal, I believe there was some negotiation with regard to that before they got to the appeal process. That's what it seems like we're at right now. So the NFL and his team has agreed to 11 with $5 million. That's, I think, where we're at.
Yeah. And Kelsey says the NFL has zero consistency at all, brings up some cases that has arisen in the NFL before. And I think that's part of the problem too, is there's no consistency. Again, it's a bad look for the NFL. It's a bad look for Deshaun Watson. It's a bad look for the Cleveland Browns. I'm glad that we finally come to a conclusion whether you think it's right, whether you think it's wrong. I do think that this is the final decision. It sounds like this is going to be it.
And I think both Nate and I would say, because the texter asked the question, what would we think? I think it would have helped had if you're not attributing any loss in the salary to this. I think a year suspension probably would have been the best thing that could have happened, because it could have got it kind of just taken out of the airwaves and all. Yeah, giving it time, a whole year. Got through the winter, got to next year, and you probably wouldn't even hear about it again until the season comes up again.
Right,
so
right.
That's
I
what
think,
I thought.
and I agree. I think a year probably would have been the best move. Again, I look at a player like Calvin Ridley and Josh Gordon. If they're getting a year, I think Deshaun Watson would fall into that category as well, and he would also be given a year. But again, it's been decided 11 games. It looks like this is going to be the final decision. So what's really interesting, too, as we head to break, his first game back at Houston.
Wow. Could it be a...
I don't know. And it really is bizarre. So
because guess what?
I don't know.
Guess what that does? Ratings and moolah. Ratings. Everybody's going to be tuning in to kind of see what Houston that could.
Everyone's going to be tuning in. But
it could be some backyard, backdoor conversations going on.
Because I agree with you. I don't think he should have been banned from the NFL. I do believe in second chances and all that, but I think a year probably would have been appropriate if that was going to be the case. But we got to take a break, guys. I'm in a predicament. I have the number 1 pick overall in fantasy football. This is my league with my buddies from high school. We're going into our 12th generation. Bragging rights are on the line. A little bit of cash is on the line. A lot is on the line here. And I'm not going to lie, I am in a pickle. I'm not sure what to do. I'm going to ask you guys next. Make sure you stick with us. You're listening On the Block. 937 The Ticket.
Jake Bachman here, and I want to tell you about something that I do that is helpful in the health industry. I'm talking about Solarion, where if you're eligible, you can earn up to $500 per day while helping develop new pharmaceutical products. I've worked with Solarion for many years and keep going back because I feel confident in the well-trained staff and well-researched studies that I participate in. Plus, if you have a busy schedule, they have weekend studies or overnight studies that shouldn't affect your normal work hours. I feel confident in knowing that I am helping advance potentially life-changing medical treatments in the health industry. This research could improve the life of others, and by participating, it helps me out too. If you're curious about how to earn up to $500 per day for participating in a research study at Solarion, check them out at helpresearch.com/new or call them at 866-213-2965. Once again, that's Solarion at 866-213-2965 or at helpresearch.com/new.
Action Plumbing, Heating, Air, and Electric brings exciting career opportunities for you or someone you know. They are now hiring plumbers, electricians, and HVAC techs and installers to continually build their professional team. They offer competitive pay and full benefits packages that include health, dental, vision, PTO, and 401k options. Action has created a positive team environment for over 50 years. Apply online at actionlincoln.com.
Empire Fence and Netting in Waverly is now hiring for several positions. They're looking for a fence installer for both commercial and residential, for local projects, and ones that require travel. They also have openings for operators, dirt work, welding positions, and applicants with CDLs are very desirable. If you're looking for a locally operated business that provides excellent work for customers and great benefits and care for its employees, email info@empire-fence.com or give them a call at 402-682-7658. Empire Fence and Netting.
It's tailgate season. Why would you bounce around from place to place for all your beverage needs when you could have it all in one place? Wine, Beer, and Spirits has everything for your parties with their 3 locations in Lincoln, Grand Island, and Omaha. It's the largest liquor store in the state, and here's the best part. You can get a drink from their bar and walk around with it as you shop for all your tailgate necessities. Locally owned and operated, it's Wine, Beer, and Spirits on North 27th Street in Lincoln.
People first is more than a nice sentiment. At American Senior Benefits, it's the mission. If you're ready for a career where you can truly put your customers' needs ahead of everything else, this is for you. American Senior Benefits is one of the leading senior market insurance product distributors in the country, and they're looking for high-energy applicants with strong communication skills. Enjoy on-the-job training, a fun work environment, and unlimited income potential. Visit asbmidwest.com to learn more. American Senior Benefits.
Hi, Sean Callahan here for Copple Chevrolet GMC, and things are cooking in Louisville. Right now, our pre-owned sales are off the charts, and we have loaded up the lots full of inventory. We've got a great supply of Sierras, Silverados, Tahoes, Yukons, and crossovers. Plus, we've got a great supply of back-to-school cars just in time for the big day. Don't forget about all of those new 2022 and 2023 units arriving every day as well. So please take that short, money-saving drive down 144th Street or shop online at copplecars.com. You'll be glad you did.
You work way too hard to blend in. It's time for your business to stand out from the crowd. Revolution Wraps takes your image to the next level with professional, high-quality vehicle wraps, signage, interior graphics, trade show displays, and plenty more. They do it all in-house, from design to print to installation. Call Revolution Wraps in either Lincoln or Omaha for a free quote today at 402-475-2886. Or see what they can do for your business online at revolutionwraps.com. Revolution Wraps. Start something big.
Warhorse Casino is bringing winning opportunities to Lincoln. Get in on the action at our next job fair, Saturday, August 20th from 10 to 2 at the Husker Marriott, 333 South 13th Street. We are hiring trailblazers in every department: beverage servers, slot, custodial, security, and more. Every employee is treated like family, and every role is essential in creating a one-of-a-kind experience. For information on openings and job fairs, go to warhorsecasino.com.
Early break with Sip and Jake.
You look at those big tackles they have mammoth tackles. Neither of those guys are particularly nimble. Bryce Benhart is never going to be confused with Allen Iverson.
No, I don't think that he will. That's the first time in history and forever going forward that Allen Iverson will be the same sentence as Bryce Benhart.
They better be able to mash.
Early break with Sip and Jake from 6 to 8 every weekday morning.
Get a lot of advice about self-care these days, but one of the most important self-care steps we can take is making sure we're financially secure later in life. For small steps you can take to save for retirement, visit WeSaySaveIt.org. A message from AARP and the Ad Council.
Back to On the Block with Strick and Nate on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
You listen. I didn't hit my button for a second. You listen to On the Block, 93.7 The Ticket. I'm Nate Brennan. He is Eric Strickland, the Husker Hall of Famer, 9-year NBA vet. We want to hear from you guys. 402-464-5685, starter name and text line, Honda of Lincoln hotline. And as always, guys, we want to make sure that you know we are brought to you by Mary Ellen's Food for the Soul. Let them fix you a plate. 27th and Pine Lake. I promise you guys have not had soul food if you haven't had Mary Ellen's. Charles and his staff to make delicious pulled pork, brisket, catfish, ribs, all kinds of stuff. And I'm telling you right now, we went there. It was a couple weeks ago now. We were live out at Mary Ellen's, and they made us everything, basically everything that they had on the menu. Not a single thing on their menu disappointed. Like that. I mean, it is next level.
It's
food.
spiced right.
Next level.
They don't overdo it with the sauce on the ribs. It's like,
that's a good point, because I don't like
you
that
hate
as
that,
much.
right? Me too. It's like, I haven't eaten spaghetti in a while, but when I ate that freaking spaghetti with that meat sauce, it was like, it was just perfect. It wasn't soupy, or it was great, bro. And I haven't eaten spaghetti, but I would go back and eat more spaghetti there. Absolutely. Even though I'm trying to stay away from pasta, because I'm trying to keep my sexy
carbs.
Trying to keep my sexy.
I as another bigger guy, I can respect that. Yeah, absolutely. Got to cut out the carbs. But again, 27th and Pine Lake, Mary Ellen's Food for the Soul. If you guys are heading back from work, go let them fix you a plate.
Through.
Tell them we sent you.
The desserts are phenomenal too.
Oh my gosh. I'm telling you, everything that they got, it is definitely food. Especially it's Thursday. Treat yourself.
We're
almost to Friday.
I'm leery. Matter of fact, I might even come down to Lincoln early tomorrow just to go to lunch.
Get some Mary
Just to go to lunch before I come over to the station. I'm thinking because I'm about to hit the road. I'm about to go to Europe. I'm not sure what. I don't want to just go to McDonald's, my boy.
Right.
I want to go. But I'm scared. I'm scared because, I watch YouTube, and some places you think you're getting chicken and you're getting something else. So I'm leery. Is my baklava? Is it really what baklava?
Hey, but you know what you're getting at Mary Ellen's.
I know what I'm getting at Mary Ellen's.
You know exactly.
That's why I'm trying to get it before I get on this road.
If you're over towards 27th and Pine Lake and you're listening right now, hop on in Mary Ellen's Food for the Soul. Tell Charles that we sent you. They'll hook you up.
Tell Charles E. Strick sent you.
Tell him E. Strick
and Nate Dogg.
E. Strick and Nate Dogg. Tell him he'll know exactly.
He'll know
what's
who we
going
are.
on. He'll know exactly what's going on. I teased it before the break, so we're going to close out on the block again. Me and Strick are going to be hanging out for old school as well. No DP, no J for the next couple days. So you're stuck with me and Strick for another couple hours, whether you like it or not. Well, no, we hope that you guys like it because we're a fun time. But I teased before the break. We're going to wrap up on the block with this. I need your guys' help. 402-464-5685 Honda of Lincoln Hotline, Starter Heyman text line. So I found out yesterday, me and my buddies usually, we pick the Sunday before the NFL season starts. So I believe Thursday it's Rams and Bills, if I remember correctly. So that's Sunday before, I think it's the 5th or the 4th, one of the two. We always draft the Sunday before to avoid injuries and all of that. With that being said, I have the first overall pick. And the last time I had the first overall pick, I believe it was in 2017, maybe. It was when David Johnson was the consensus number 1 overall pick. Week 1, tears his Achilles or ACL. I can't remember. Boom, out for the season. My season was done. I didn't come in last, luckily, because we do have punishments in my league for coming in last. I came in second to last, but my season was toast. I hate the number 1 overall pick. I tried to trade it a couple times. No one else wants it. So I got to ask you guys, 402-464-5685, who do I take here? I was very confident when I first got it. I said, Jonathan Taylor. I listened to a couple podcasts today. Strick, I'm talking myself into Christian McCaffrey. And it scares the hell out of me so much. But I think Christian McCaffrey is the best player that you can draft fantasy football wise if he's healthy. And it scares me.
Listen, I actually took him one season and I was so disappointed. But I'm glad I didn't have a big league, so there was still some other players that were available to me to be able to acquire, so that way I didn't lose too much by not being able to get him. I think it's a lot of hit and miss out there right now. Like, I was just talking to some friends. I'm like, who would normally go with Zeke as somebody that you would normally go to? But it's kind of scary because
he's usually a first-round draft pick.
You would think, right? But it's scary. I know he's been working out. I know he's been really putting in the efforts to try to be ready and shape and better. But let's be real. Pollard has been outperforming him the last few years, I think.
Yeah.
I think they're on the verge.
Too.
They're on the verge of making a decision. I think they're on the crossroads right now. I think they're evaluating to see how things are going to go. But on my fantasy, there's a lot of guys like that. Like, you could literally choose Baker Mayfield right now and maybe miss. You could choose, you know what I'm saying? Because, Sam Darnold, you can choose Jimmy G and maybe miss. You know what I mean? Like, there's a lot of just outliers out there that you can end up messing up your fantasy football team.
Because that's the thing, too. Trey Lance is a hot name right now in the fantasy football landscape.
Yeah.
Because he's a dual threat. He'll get you some rushing touchdowns as well. That scares me with Jimmy G. I don't know. Ezekiel Elliott's an interesting one, too, because I took him in the first round last year, and it was okay, but for first-round production, it's not what you wanted.
Yeah.
He's looking a little bit bigger this year, so I'm not entirely sure. Mr. Unlimited says, Nate, the problem is you're in the 12th year of fantasy and still doing a snake draft. Time to move up to the big boy auction draft where everyone has a shot at anybody. We discussed it. We thought about the auction draft. We're not quite there yet. We're sticking with the snake. I think here in the next couple of years, our buy-in goes up every year. So let's just say it's a pretty decent buy-in. So that's
somebody says, why not Derrick Henry?
I thought about that too, but he's also coming off an injury.
You're not bought in. You're selling Titans. You're selling.
I am selling the Titans, but I'm never selling Derrick.
Who's going to be the quarterback?
Ryan Tannehill.
You rolling Ryan
Yeah,
Tannehill?
Ryan Tannehill. What do you like, Malik Willis?
I'm just saying.
You like Malik Willis?
I don't like
Is
it.
that what you're selling?
I'm just saying.
All right.
I'm just saying.
Hey, maybe that's something. to think
Can Ryan Tannehill win you the big one? Are you rolling? Can Ryan Tannehill take you there to the house?
I don't know. Ryan Tannehill, I think, is one of the most iffy quarterbacks to ask that question.
Exactly, right? It's scary.
Maybe. I think he could. Will he? I don't know. It's interesting. Derrick Henry's an interesting one too. DeAndre Swift. I think. See, this is the problem with the first overall pick too. Is it's a snake draft, so I loop back around at 25. DeAndre Swift will be gone. Derrick Henry will be gone. Deebo Samuel is another one that's been thrown out there.
That's
an
a
interesting
possibility.
pick. It's because it is a PPR.
He's the
so
versatility.
he'll get receptions. He'll get a lot of receptions. Tater says, I remember the year James Conner exploded, then kind of went to a dud. Maybe Nick Chubb would be a good pick.
Out of Cleveland?
Nick Chubb's a good pick. The only problem with no Deshaun Watson,
that's what I'm saying. They're going to run it, but teams are going to stack. Your box is going to be on stack against them now.
Yeah.
Right?
And he doesn't get receptions because they have Kareem Hunt.
Exactly. So my thing is, what's going to happen with Joe Burrow? Still had some injury situations.
Yeah, I don't know
right?
what's going to happen with Joe Burrow.
See, that's a scary pick too.
He'll be ready for the first week.
See, that's what I'm saying. There's so many of these kind of out. You would normally, look at Joe Burrow with the weapons they have coming back. You would normally look at them and say, hey.
And that's why it's so interesting, because I'll ask the text line this too. On the loop back around, I'll go back to back 25, 26. Do I have to take a quarterback then? Because usually I don't take a quarterback until late, but then I have to wait for the loop around again. Again, a lot's going through my head, guys. This is why I need your help, because this is stressing me out. I hate the first overall pick. Ohio Husker says JT's the only option at number 1. Don't overthink it. He carried me to the title last year. But this is the thing, Ohio Husker. What'd you get him in the second, third round? I mean, this is the you have to hit on the first overall pick, and I'm talking myself into
Clay Tonia John's telling you better step up and look at Mixon. He said you better stop playing with the thing that they did with their line this year.
Yeah,
you better get your
mind
right.
Joe Burrow's out for a little bit. If I don't even know who their backup is now, Ryan Finley. Texter says JT number 1 for sure. It's stressing me out. I'm not gonna lie. I'm between Jonathan Taylor, Christian McCaffrey, Derrick Henry. Are probably those are my probably, and I don't know what I'm gonna go with. I really don't know. Huffy, he agrees with you. He says Tony Pollard is better, but it's Jerry's team, so he'll mess that up too.
Yeah,
how he does it.
The text line, help your boy Strick. Thank you for that wonderful text, Huffy. Listen. Is it and was it a big mistake to pay Zeke Elliott $91 million?
You never pay a running back. You know what? How about this? We're going to be here for another 2 hours. You want to talk about that next?
Let's get on it.
We're going to talk about that next.
I want to know what is the
limit
back that you pay a running back?
You never pay a running back.
You don't give him no more than 4 years.
And I'm a big Colts fan too, and I love Jonathan Taylor, and I don't know what they're going to do with Jonathan Taylor. Because as much as he ran at Wisconsin, as much as they're going to run him at Indy, when his rookie contract is done.
Ooh, scary.
Tell me 25, 26, he's still got some legs in him? I don't know. And that's why I don't know. Help me out, guys. Again, 402-464-5685. I got the number 1 pick in my fantasy football draft. I still got a couple weeks to see if Christian McCaffrey stays healthy. I'm talking myself into Christian McCaffrey, and I don't like it. I don't like it. Help me out. Please help me out here, guys. That's going to do it for On the Block. We have Old School next. Again, it's me and Strick hanging around. We're going to get into that running back conversation. Do you pay a running back in the NFL? It should be a great conversation. But again, that'll do it for On the Block for today. For myself, Nate Brennan, for the Husker Hall of Famer. We will see you tomorrow on the block. But see you in a little bit. Old School coming up next.
Imagine your next staff meeting. Now imagine your next staff meeting with a side of ribs. Your next client presentation.